Well, hello. Welcome back to another installment of the Make Money and Have Fun show. Yes, this is another episode of the Make Money and Have Fun show, but today we're doing something very different than what I've done in the past. Here's the really cool thing. When I started this show, I had an idea in my head. I said, listen, I got all of these really cool friends, some high players, some big people out there that are doing really cool things. I know a lot of speakers. I know a lot of authors. And I emphasize that for a reason, which I'll tell you in a second. I know a lot of coaches, consultants, millionaires, billionaires, investors, you name it, and they're all coming on this show. Well, in February, I'm doing something really cool just for my authors out there. So I actually pre-plan this. I know. I actually make plans. I don't just fly off the cuff all the time, only on this show. But here's the plan. For February, I'm actually renaming it, for me, Author Month. Because every single day in the month of February, I'm going live with a different authors and books. Now, for those of you that know me, you know that I'm an author of 2 books. My first book, The Revolutionary Mindset, I wrote this when I was 21 years old, just to prove to myself that I could write a book. The day after I finished writing it, I vowed to myself I would never write a book again. And then 4 years later, I wrote the Thought Bible. So my writers, my authors, I'm sure they know that feeling exactly. They know exactly what I'm talking about. So today, what I wanted to do is I actually have 5 people backstage right now, and there might even be more showing up. But I want to bring them on and have them basically tell you who they are, what book they wrote, and tell you a little bit about the book. So they're all getting a segment on today's show. And then next month, I'm going live with each one of them. And even some that aren't even here today, they couldn't even make it for this show. I'm going live every single day. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're checking it out. But before we go any further, I got to remind you of one thing.
My motto in life is make money and have fun. I'm on a mission to show everyone how to make money, yeah, and have fun. I'm all about making money and having fun.
So this is great. So you guys can't see out there in Facebook land or YouTube land, wherever you're at, but there, I can actually see like a line of screens underneath of my screen, and all my authors are back here dancing to my song. They're rocking out. They're doing their thing. This is great. Oh, I got a 6th person in here now. Man, look at all these people showing up. So I got to start bringing people on screen to do this thing. So I got some really amazing people coming out here. They're going to tell you what their book is, what they do. So let's start with the overachiever of the evening. I want to bring on Miss Vicki Helm, everybody.
Hey, Fred, nice to be on your show today. Thanks for having me.
Vicki, are you having fun?
I'm already having fun. I look at you and I'm having fun. This is really awesome already.
It's the red jacket, isn't it?
It is. I actually really like that.
Awesome. I love it. Red's my favorite color, if you can't tell. So I got my red branding everywhere. I got the logos, all kinds of stuff in red on here. Apparently, it's like a really powerful leadership type color. I don't know. It is. Colors. Anyway, Vicki, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the floor for about 2 minutes. Tell us who you are, what you do. Tell us about your book, and just any other kind of fun facts you got going on.
Great. Nice to meet you. I'm Vicki Helm. I am the host of the Coffee Break Show, and it's in the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. I'm an author. This is probably my 30-something book. It just went #1. It's the She Myth book, and it just is out right now. You can get it. You can get the ebook on Amazon. You can find it anywhere. But the reason I wrote this book is to help women have a redefining moment in business because they are moving past these she myths that have been stopping them. I am also a business and asset strategist. I have a consulting firm called Smart Group Firm, and you can find it at smartgroupfirm.com. You can find me obviously at vickyhelm.com. And I absolutely love writing books that make a difference in people's lives. And the programs that we have, you can go look at them on vickyhelm.com. But what I want to talk about is leadership for a second. And I think Fred's show and his ingenious ideas in leadership are worth following and listening to. It's not just about being an author. It's also about making a difference in the world. Between writing books and doing shows and things like that, hanging around talented people are going to help you hang around talented people. So I don't know how close to the 2-minute piece I am, but if you are looking to make a difference in your world, get this book.
I love that. Vicky, thank you so much for the kind words. I'll pay you that money that I owe you.
You're doing so much good stuff in the world. Everybody should be hanging out with you and learning how to make money and have a really good time doing it.
I love it. I love it. I love the title of that book, by the way. The She Myth. It's making me think of the E Myth. We got a really cool interview set up for next month. End of the month. I think we're going live on the
25th. Yeah, 25th. I'll be here talking about the She Myth.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's going to be a cool conversation. The E Myth is one of my favorite books ever.
It is a good book.
Now the She Myth might be taking its place.
And I gotta tell you, when I did this, I wasn't trying to make it the She Myth or rhyme with the E Myth per se. I really am looking at women and the myths that hold them back from pursuing everything they want to pursue.
Interesting. Well,
although the E Myth is fantastic.
I love it. Vicky, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
See you soon.
See you later.
On the 25th. All right. So we're getting the gist. We're hanging out. We got cool people in this group. Who should we bring up next? I think we should have a guy next. So we had Vicky. Why don't we bring on Brian Wright? Brian K. Wright, get in here, sir. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Fred, how are you?
What's going on, man? Brian,
oh my gosh.
Can you match my energy today?
Absolutely. I love your energy, and that's one thing that I just really, really like about you a lot. I'm looking forward to jamming with you a whole lot more going forward. This will be fun.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
So let me give you the floor here. Tell us about your book, who you are, what you do, and why you're such a cool person, Brian.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I've got several books, but the one that I want to just briefly talk about today, and that's upside down. Here we go. Success Profiles, Conversations with High Achievers, featuring Jack Canfield, Tom Ziglar, Laura Langmeyer, and more. And how this book came about is I started a radio show called Success Profiles Radio in January 2012. So I had my 9-year anniversary very recently. I've done over 400 episodes. And I realized at one point, after I'd interviewed so many amazing people, that I had a lot of content that I needed to repurpose. And compilation books are a thing. You've probably seen many of them. This one's cool because every single person in this book has been on my radio show. And so it was just a way to repurpose some of the great content that was already there. And I advocate repurposing content, whether it's a book, whether it's your radio show, whether it's a magazine, which I also publish, Success Profiles Magazine, whether it's a blog. Someone who might see or hear your radio show might not know that you have a book. Someone who saw your book first may not know you publish a magazine. Someone who sees your magazine first may not know you have a show. And so when you add 1 + 1 + 1, it's not 3, it's 5 or 6, because it grows exponentially. So Jack Canfield, Tom Ziglar, Laura Langmeyer, Darren Hardy, who published Success Magazine for many years, is in this. Greg Reed, who is a national best-selling author and filmmaker, is in this book. Frank Shankowitz, who founded the Make-A-Wish Foundation, is in this book. Goodness, so many amazing people. So if you're looking for wisdom on success, business, personal development, it's really fantastic. And a lot of these people talk about how Think and Grow Rich impacted their lives. And so there's a common theme among some of these interviews. And so it's on Amazon. It came out in 2018. I had, you've got Think and Grow Rich right there. There's actually a second volume, which came out in 2019, Success Profiles, Conversations with High Achievers, Volume 2. This one had Kevin Harrington, Chris Powell, Dan Locke, Brad Sugars, and many more. Both of these are on Amazon. But I just want to impart to you that if you've thought about writing a book, and you don't know where to start, maybe you've created content that could be repurposed into that. Maybe you've done Facebook Lives. Maybe you've done a blog. In fact, that's how Jeffrey Gitomer wrote his first book. He started a blog about how all the stupid things that salespeople do. And when he had 100 entries, he realized, I have a book. So he told that to me on my show. He was my 100th episode way back in the day. So so that's the story of how my book came together. And I'm happy and grateful to talk to anyone who wants to talk about writing a book, because I'm a book writing coach too.
I love it, man. This is so cool. You have some cool stuff. It's actually funny. I did that with my second book. So this book, The Thought Bible, this is just a collection of all my blog posts for 4 years. It's a great idea. I love doing it. But Brian, unfortunately, I got to kick you off, my man, because
it's all good.
We got other people in here that got really cool stuff to say. But you're an awesome dude, man. I'm looking forward to chatting with you next month.
Yep.
Let's do
Absolutely.
it. See you in a bit.
Take care.
All right, let's see. Who else do we got down here? Let me take a look real quick. You know what? Rick Crummy is looking like he wants to get on here. He's got some stuff to talk about. He's got a bookshelf in his background. So let's put our hands together for Rick Crummy. What's going on, man? I apologize if I butchered your last name, by the way.
It's chromey, like on the fender of your car. Well, it used to be cars. Cars don't have chrome fenders anymore, but like my motorcycle is full of chrome. That's right. Yeah.
That makes it even cooler. You're like the Man of Steel.
Absolutely.
The Man of Chrome, I guess.
Thanks for having me on here, Fred. It's
of course, man.
Make your acquaintance.
So give us your two-minute little elevator pitch. Tell us who you are, what you do, and talk about some books, man. You got the floor.
All right, my friend. My name is Dr. Rick Crummy. I am a leadership imagineer, cultural explorer, historian. That's probably my latest tag. I do a lot in the area of history. In fact, my latest book, I've written several, is called Gen Tech, an American story of technology change and who we really are. Basically challenging the myth, I call myths, of baby boomers and millennials and Gen X and all those crazy tags we add, which are mostly, at least in recent years, more marketing tags to get us to buy stuff, and redefine us through technology, the technology that we come of age to between the ages of 10 and 25. So, you're not Gen X, you're the space generation and the gamer generation. You're not millennials, you're the personal computer, cell phone generation, net generation. You're not boomers, you're the television and generation. So, I mean, it's redefining who we are, and it's been a lot of fun to write about it. So that's primarily the book, and that's what I do.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Redefining the generations. That's going to be an awesome conversation that we have next month, man. I'm looking forward to that. And also, I think I might be stealing your last name because I want to be made of chrome too.
Well, in high school, I was known as the Chrome Dome, and I lived up to that name, obviously. So there you go.
I was going to say, I was thinking about doing like a Halloween show, this year, and I dress up as somebody, and then my guest is like somebody else related to that. So maybe I'll be like Captain America. You can be Iron Man or Chrome Man in this case. And anyway, we'll figure that out later. On this note, I'll see you in a bit, Rick.
Thank you.
See you next month, brother. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
All right, who we got going on next? We need a lady in here. We need to bring a lady on next. How about if we bring on Vicky number 2? Although actually, I think this might be Vicky number 1. I'll let them bicker amongst themselves to figure out what's going on. But on that note, let's bring on Miss Vicky Lucido. What's going on, Vicky?
Hey, Fred. Hey, first of all, I want to say if you do a Halloween show, please invite me because I've got a lot of great costumes.
Of course you're invited.
I was a drama teacher for
I'm throwing a virtual Halloween party on my show. This is it. I'm manifesting it right now, putting it into the universe. We're making it happen. But Vicky, first, we want to hear about you. Tell us about your book, who you are, what you do, and the floor is yours, Vicky. Go.
Okay, thanks, Fred. Well, I'm new to this, unlike your other guests that have written all these books. My book, Classroom Confidential: How I Survived 33 years in the public school, in the public school classroom, and you can too. Basically, this is my first book. I was working, like I said, since 1985, long time. And when I retired, I thought, I have all this wisdom that I learned through 33 years of teaching and a lot of topics that they don't tell you about, as a new teacher, things that you don't know. And so I thought, I've got to write this stuff down because in my teaching, a lot of new teachers would come. Even teachers have been around a while, upset about whatever, budget cuts. Now we got the new silver bullet. How are we going to implement that? Gosh, I feel like I don't belong at this school. How do I fit in? I mean, things like that sometimes teachers don't know who to go to. It's not in a book. And, when I retired, I had all these education books. I mean, a lot of them. And I have to be honest, I never read even one of them from cover to cover because they were full of stats and things like that didn't really help me in my middle school classroom. I needed things that I could use right now. Like, what do I do when I have a sub? What about back to school night? What if I have an angry mom? How do I deal with that? Things like that. So my book is a no-nonsense guide from a seasoned teacher who knows what it's like in the classroom and tried to make it down and dirty, no nonsense. You can pick up my book and look to a chapter and say, how did Vicky deal with that? and get instant relief versus trying to wade through a bunch of statistics that some PhD, nothing against PhDs, but some PhD that hasn't been in a classroom with 12-year-olds
Yes.
doesn't know. So that's what my book, so it just really flowed out of me once I retired and cleaned up my classroom. I just sat down to write it, and it just came out, and a publisher picked it up, which was really amazing.
Nice.
And so it's probably the worst time in a way to write a classroom book. But a lot of my tips are good for parents that are homeschooling and just for basic classroom management. Even my book could be for anybody managing people, even if they're not kids, just basic management strategies. So that in a nutshell is my book.
So we actually had a conversation beforehand. Vicki and I were chatting, and she mentioned that she had taught middle school. And I mentioned that before all this craziness, all the red jackets and the fancy rap music and the Halloween party that's going down, I actually was a martial arts instructor. So I was teaching kids 3.5 and up to like 12 years old or so. And I had to wrangle a room full of 33-year-olds together. So I totally get it. I totally resonate with that. And that is going to be a fun book for us to talk about next month. Vicki, thank you for being here. This was awesome stuff. On that note,
thank you, Fred.
See you next month.
Okay, great.
All right. Who else do we got down here coming in? Let's hear from Charity. Such a cool name. I'm going to bring Charity on here. She's already smiling. She's ready to go. Let's put our hands together for Charity. Hey, what's going on?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Are you excited to be here?
I'm super excited. I love,
smile.
and I'm the red too, so I feel special. I feel like I did it. The coordination thing.
Man, you must have got the memo that I never sent.
That's right. The memo.
I love it. Charity, I'm going to give you the floor. Tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your book.
All right. I am a 2-time author. My first book is The Widow's Survival Guide, and my second book is The Widow's Guide to Dating. And my first book is about living on after the death of your spouse. My husband of 13 years passed away 2 years ago now, when my kids were 1, 3, and 5. And I realized in that first year that I had to figure out not only how to live on for my children, but live on for myself. And so all of that is what I did to get up every morning and start to have a purpose that wasn't based around being a wife and a mother, and focusing on who Charity is.
Powerful. That's a powerful, powerful story. And we're definitely going to get into it more in February during our interview. But I just completely commend you and thank you for being on here. This is amazing stuff. For anyone who's watching, drop some hearts in for that one. Drop the new care emoji. I love those with the little hug emoji. Those would be the best. Drop some in there. Let us know that you're here, that you're caring, and that you're ready to rock. Charity, thank you for being here. Keep on
Thank you, Fred.
So this is actually a fun fact for you. So I call them like mindset hacks on my phone. So on my phone, I put these little quotes that pop up throughout the day. You're 3 feet from gold. You can handle anything. Wealth flows to you in abundance. The first one that comes to me every morning at 8 a.m. says, smile today. And I actually encourage people to do that. It's actually one of my lessons that I teach in some of my keynotes and in my coaching sessions, because there's 80 muscles in the human face. And for most of us, it's the most unemployed part of our entire body, right? And when you smile full and smile big in the morning, you feel the difference physiologically in your body, right? You feel that difference. And I actually had my custom clothier, he put it on my shirt right here. But that actually says smile today right on there. So keep smiling. We're so glad to have you here. And on that note, Charity, we'll see you next month.
Thanks, Fred.
You got it. Thanks for being here. All right. Let's bring another gentleman in to chat with us. I see Christopher stopped in. I know he was running around getting everything ready for us. So let's put our hands together, everybody, for Mr. Christopher Russell.
Hey, Fred. Thanks for having me on. Yes, I got here at the last minute. You called and I rushed over. It's that mutual bond that we have as martial artists.
I know.
Got to rush everywhere.
Well, I see you every time I see you posting, you're like, I'm in California doing a book signing. I'm in Nebraska. I'm here. I'm there. Where the heck are you coming to us from today, Christopher?
I'm coming to you from Williamsburg, Virginia, the old
Ooh.
colonial capital of the United States.
Nice.
Lots of history here, which is something that I love. I put into all my epic fantasy books.
I love it. So, dude, I want to hear about your books. Let me give you the floor here. Give us just like your 1 to 2 minute speech, who you are, what you do, and tell us about these awesome books that you write, man. Go.
So, like Fred, I'm a fellow Morgan James Publishing author, and I write epic fantasy with a little bit of sci-fi thrown in. I grew up reading The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, a whole bunch of different things, and I decided I wanted to combine that with my martial arts training, my Christian faith, and basically all the philosophy and engineering training I have, because I'm also a mechanical engineer, and create a fantasy epic that bridges the gap between magic and science. So my tagline for this story, for Divinity's Twilight here, is what if the heroes of legend didn't save the world, but only delayed the inevitable? So you have your ragtag crew of military cadets just graduating from school that are thrust into a conflict they're completely unprepared for, that has ramifications far beyond the reaches of their everyday lives. That these are global in scale. There's divinities involved. There is the conflict between kings and governments, questions of morality and ethics, dealing with how technology influences people's lives, not just in war, but in economics, social systems. But there's a lot of fun, a lot of character development, and you get to meet a lot of great people and go on journeys. I've had people write to me about one of the main characters of this book, Mateo, that they were able to really resonate with him in his journey, especially during the pandemic, and that it meant a lot to them, that they were able to see themselves in him and take away some key lessons that help them in their daily lives.
Dude, I'm hooked. I'm hooked, man. I want to get this book now.
Awesome. You find it everywhere books are sold. And if you want to go to my website, ChristopherRussellAuthor.com, you can get signed copies. There's currently a discount running through the end of, probably through Valentine's Day. Just run it because people need good reading. They need entertainment now more than ever. And that's what I want to bring to people.
I love it, dude. Like you said, it resonates a lot with me as both being martial artists, Morgan James authors, all those kinds of things they brought together. And I don't know if you know this, but my like secondary tagline is bridging the gap. So when I heard you say bridging the gap, I was like, hey, he's got that frequency going on. We know what's up. Dude, I'm super excited to be interviewing you next month. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff, fantasy. I'm a big Greek mythology nerd, so that'll be thrown in there. All kinds of cool stuff, man. Thanks for
awesome. Can't wait, Fred. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, brother. See ya. All right. Let's go on to Miss Tanya. Tanya's ready to go. I see her in here. Let's put a big hand together for Tanya Salama.
Whoa, how are you doing today? It sounds like you're all pumped up and ready to go.
I'm always pumped up and ready to go. I do two things on a daily basis, Tanya. I make money and I have fun. So,
I think that's fantastic, and I need to learn how to do that first one a little bit better, but I'm on my way, so there's always hope, right?
I got you. Don't worry. There's this guy out there, and he's writing this book, and the title of the book is actually Make Money and Have Fun, and it's going to be coming out this spring. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I can't wait to
get my hands on a copy. That'll be fantastic.
Excellent. So Tanya, tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your book. I'm giving you the floor. You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Listen, I guess you can tell I'm from the South. I'm a Southern girl, and I'm coming to you right now from my place at the beach on the panhandle of Florida. I've been very fortunate to have this spot to come and write. And, you know, my story is a little different from everybody else. I'm a fiction writer, but I don't know who said it first, but every story comes out of our own personal stories. And so I wrote a book, see if you can see it, called Surviving Love. Now, Surviving Love is a fiction story, but I'm the girl in the story. And I think that when you've been through hard times in your life, which I have, walked some very treacherous roads. My personal story involves my marriage and some infidelity and how I chose to move forward. When you start writing your story, first of all, you can't keep it inside. You've got to get it down. You've got to share it with the world. And so many times I would think, do we really need another book? And then someone would respond to me and say, your book impacted my life. And if one person is impacted by what you write, that's terrific. Now, if I can take it to the next level and begin to make money off of it, that is the exciting thing, because I mean, it is important that all the hard work we do and the effort we put into it, yes, we want to impact lives, but we also need to know that what we're doing matters. And I think book sales are just the best way to monitor that, to see how it's going.
Absolutely. You are on the right show, Tonda. This is the Make Money and Have Fun show. We got the fun, we got the fulfillment of writing the book. Now let's get a little bit of income coming in so that we can bridge that gap and make it all work. You're in the right place. I love it. We are so glad to have you here. Tonda, I can't wait to chat with you some more next month.
Absolutely. And I might be a little better prepared, but thanks for my 5 seconds, and I really do appreciate it.
This was fantastic. And maybe that Southern accent might rub off on me a little bit. So I might start sounding Southern.
Well, you're always welcome in Tennessee, where I live. So.
Oh, Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Me and my girlfriend will be there soon.
All right. It's a great place.
I love it. You got it. See you, Tonda. All right. On that note, folks, we got one more person left who came to join the party to have some fun with us today, and that is Miss Brittany Benton. Get in here, Brittany. Brittany.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so
Brittany,
much for having me today. I'm sorry I couldn't be on video.
No worries. You have a fantastic picture.
Thank you. It's tiny, but I am too, so it works.
There you go. I mean, I was digging the guitars in the picture. Those are pretty cool. Are they all yours?
Those are not mine. Those are actually from a property here in Tennessee.
Okay.
That is a historic home, and it used to be a restaurant, and they had a music room. And funny enough, my church actually owns that property now.
Oh, cool.
We no longer have that music room, but now it's going to be filled with music in different ways. So
that's funny. So, Brittany, you're bringing us home. So I'm giving you the 2 minutes or so. Tell us who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about your book. Bring us.
Yeah, so I am actually a singer-songwriter and did professional theater for years. So I have a background in performing and all of that stuff. I also love psychology. I love people, and I have walked through some interesting roads myself, being in the business and just dealing with life like everybody does. So a few years ago, I realized that after a series of events in my own life that I had been through, I had developed PTSD as a result of not really dealing with the trauma when it happened, because I'm a workaholic. And I took time to take a step back and take care of me and reinvigorate my faith and heal. And out of that was birthed Learning to Believe Again, my book. It's called Learning to Believe Again, 30 Days to Finding Hope, Faith, and Comfort in God's Truth. And to me, it was really a God thing that this book happened, because I never planned on writing a book, but it felt like something that I could give back through my experience, because, God doesn't just put us through hard things. He brings beauty out of the ashes. And sometimes that beauty is getting to walk beside somebody else that's struggling and help them out also. And it's really about a journey back to faith. And I wrote it as a devotional Bible study to help people focus on their own faith and their own walk and getting back to belief from a place of hardship.
I love it. That's an amazing story. I mean, really, we're going to have such a cool conversation next month chatting about that one. And I seriously can't wait to hear more about it. Brittany, thank you for being here. This was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to talking more next month.
Absolutely. Rock on. Go play some instruments.
Yes.
I love it. So that's the deal. That is today's show for everybody. I hope you're fired up and wired up, in the zone, ready to go for next month, which is going to be Author Month. But there's one more thing I want to let you know before you go. So far, I've written 2 books, The Revolutionary Mindset, The Thought Bible. These are both on Amazon. But here's the deal. I haven't written the book yet. Every author has one book that is their book, the book that they've lived their whole life, and everything else revolves around what they want to do. That book is coming out in April of this year, this spring. It's going to be called Make Money and Have Fun. It is my entire philosophy, everything about this show wrapped up into one, ready to go, all in that one single book. So we're going to be getting some pre-order copies to you very soon. be able to pick those up ready to go. I just wanted to let you know, give you a quick announcement. But on that note, I actually got a jam. I got a rock. I got places to be, people to see, money to make, and mouths to feed. So on that note, I hope that you continue out there to keep on making money and having fun. See you next month.